Good morning, everybody. This is morning coffee.
803.
T-Velly production.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's time for morning coffee. Running a little bit behind this morning. You know how it is. You have little circumstances sometime to come up, but we're going to keep on pressing anyway. I hope you all have had a beautiful morning this morning so far. It's weather's kind of changing outside. Y'all know I like to talk about the weather. I think I'm a unofficial weatherman sometimes. But it's I can tell it's getting ready to warm up. Somebody might need to get the mosquitoes a little notice that it's time for them to go on hiatus because they are definitely cutting up in this season. But I hope you all have definitely had a good morning. I want to thank you all for tuning in to the Morning Coffee Show. I'm Tanisha R. Atkins. I am the host of the show, and we are on a mission to help you to have growth, to provoke you to growth and change, so that you can have a better life and thriving relationships. And as usual, our format this morning, I'm going to give you a scripture of the day, a word of the day, and a topic of the day. So today, let's get on right into the conversation this morning. I'm ready for the round of real talk this morning. Y'all ready to have some real talk with me this morning? Because we got to grow up. And sometimes we have to have these grown up conversations that sometimes our family members and friends are often trying to tell us, but because we so familiar with them, we just want to tell them, oh, shut up, but so that's what I'm here for. I got their back and I got your back too, because we're going to talk about some issues with them as well. But this morning we are talking about how to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Woo, I know y'all say, oh my God, like what is she talking about? All right, so let's get into it. Here's the thing. Let's think about your car. How do you know when your car is at a point where it needs maintenance? Let's think about that. You're driving the car every day. A lot of us on autopilot. You get up, you get in the car, you go to work. And yeah, you check for things like gas because come on, without gas, we're not going nowhere. But how do you know when it's time to pay some different type of attention to your car? Well, one of the ways you know is because the check engine light comes on. The check engine light comes on. Now, normally what you are supposed to do when the engine light comes on, it's obviously a call to take the car in for either some type of maintenance or, to find out the purpose of the light coming on is to get you to pay attention saying, hey, something needs to be checked here, right? Okay, so let's talk about that. What happens when you ignore that, the check engine light, and say you just keep driving the car, and then all of a sudden you're on the freeway one day and the car stops running. And you wreck and you done, caused a 10-car pile up. What happens? You have not only put yourself in jeopardy, you have not only put yourself in danger, you have also endangered the lives of other people. Well, that's what happens when you don't do maintenance on yourself. What's your engine? Your heart is your engine. That's your engine. That's what keeps you running. That's what keeps you, that is what shows us what's going on in your life. The condition of your heart, it tells, just like the engine. The engine, I don't care what kind of accessories you put on the car. If that engine is not in check, that car is going to break down. And so it's the same thing with you. Just again, talking about the heart. So let's go and talk about the scripture of the day. Now, this comes from Proverbs. Y'all know Proverbs is a very good book in the Bible. It is full of wisdom. So we are definitely going to draw some wisdom this morning from Proverbs. And it's Proverbs 4:23. And it says, above all else, to guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Everything. It says everything. The way you talk, the way you walk, the way you conduct yourself with people, all of that comes from your heart. And so how do you know when it's time for your heart to have a checkup? How do you know when you need to have a checkup? All right, let me go to another scripture here. This one is in Luke. And it says, the good person out of the good treasure of his heart produces good. And the evil person out of his heart produces evil. For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So how do you know when your heart needs a checkup? Because you can tell by what's coming out of your mouth. Are you negative all the time? Are you angry? Are you snapping at people? You know, what comes out of your mouth, especially when you get in a situation where you're frustrated or you're in a situation where a lot of times you can tell when things in life are not going your way. That's the first way to tell what's in your heart, because people, let me tell you, when you push our button, we gonna go there. And so that's how you can tell what's in your heart by what comes out of your mouth. And that's why, so let's back up and talk about how things get in your heart. How does things get in your heart to affect what comes out of your mouth? Let's go back to the other scripture where it says to guard your heart. So what are some access ways to your heart? Your ears, your eyes, what you see, what you hear. So for you may be one of those people that are around negative people all the time. Say you work with like a bunch of negative people and you don't even realize that has affected you. You don't even realize that you're so negative now. And then sometimes your friends or family are trying to bring that to your attention. But you like, no, not me. Like, not me. I'm not no negative person. But what has happened, your access, you left your gate open. You left your gate open, and that kind of stuff will get in your heart and it affects you. Some other things that can get in your heart, a lot of people talk about things that happen to them as a child. So we'll kind of talk about that. A lot of times people grow up and some people don't have the best of parents. You know what, or they never had, no, I'm not saying never had, they didn't have the best of parents, because not all parents are loving and kind. Some parents are harsh and bitter because, you know, like they say, hurting people hurt people. And some of our parents never got over some things that were done to them as children. And so they take it out on us. And so, well, not me, but on us, you know what I mean? But for some people that creates like bitterness and stuff. So a lot of times, a lot of people are walking around with bitterness in their heart. And how do you tell if you're bitter? Because you're bitter with other people. And it's time to do a self-check. You have to check yourself before you wreck yourself. You cannot continue to go on walking around like that with your heart infected like that. You have to release those things, which we're going to talk about on tomorrow's show, so I don't want to go too much into it. But it just comes a point in life where you have to, the hurt and the bitterness, and I know y'all say, well, you know, and I believe that too. A lot of people say, let it go, but there's a process to letting it go. It just doesn't like fly away into the sky. But let's stay on our topic this morning about doing some self-maintenance. So you have to check the condition of your heart. If you are going around being angry with people and taking your frustrations in life out on people, you're going to wreck yourself. And why? Because people going to get to the point where they don't want to be around you. Like people, this day and time, people like, look, you got too much going on. You too negative. And then as a result of that, you look back and say, well, I don't have no friends, or, you know, when I call this person, they don't really want to be around me. You start to take those things personally when really the issue, and you know, start to say, well, don't nobody like me. But the issue is you wrecking everybody around you, like when your car. Like when your engine breaks down, you are affecting everybody. And people are at the point now where they are starting to protect their space. They're starting to guard their heart. So understand, don't take those things personal like that, but just take it as a wake-up call. And if you're really good friends with somebody, you might want to ask them, hey, I noticed you've been acting a little different with me. That's why I just feel like it's so important to be honest with people and keep it real. If you really care about somebody and you see them having an issue, I really believe that you should pull them to the side privately, not blast them out on social media, or, don't go tell other family members, other friends. I believe that you should pull that person to the side and say, look, I don't know if there's something going on with you, but I just noticed that you've been different. You've been talking different. You've been, the way you act and everything. We have to help people to do that. That's how you help people to grow up. When you do it out of love, I think a person will receive it a lot better than you just coming and being critical and saying, you just so negative. That's what we tend to do. But when you do it out of love, pull them to the side and say, look, this is not normally you. It seems like you're different here. Is there an issue? Can I pray with you about it? That's how you express love. But so getting back to the topic, check yourself, check the condition of your heart. If you, like I said, what's coming out of your mouth? Anger, bitterness, frustration, are you cussing everybody out? Something's going on in your heart and you're not being honest about it. And it's time to address those things, because you can't keep covering up stuff. You have to uncover it so you can heal. You have to get it out. For some people, that may mean you may need to talk to a counselor. You may need to see somebody, talk to your pastor, and most of all, pray and do what the words say. Guard your heart. Guard your heart from negativity. Guard your heart from sometimes it's some of the TV shows and stuff that we watch. Sometimes it's some of the music and things that we listen to. You have to guard access to your heart, because once a thing gets in your heart, now you have to deal with that thing. Now you have to deal with it, and you got to begin to take steps to get it better. So y'all give me some feedback this morning for those of you that are on here listening. What do y'all think? What are your thoughts about that? Doing some self-maintenance and checking yourself. Check your engine light. Your heart is your engine. Check your heart out and see what's going on. And the goal should be to level up in life. That should be everybody's goal. You should not want to continue to stay on the same level. You're supposed to be leveling up. And you got to get your heart right first. You got to get your heart together, because it's not right to go around mistreating people. And then we do it and be like, people know I'm not perfect. That's an excuse. None of us are perfect, but that does not give us the right to mistreat people, to belittle people, to take our frustrations out on people. You gonna wreck yourself, because again, people gonna get to the point where they don't want to be around you, and then you're gonna be looking sad somewhere, sitting at home alone with a house full of cats. No shade to nobody with cats, even though I'm a little scared of cats, but hey, that's my own issue. All right, well, so our word of the day. Our word of the day. What is the word of the day? Check yourself. It's gonna be a phrase. It's 2 words. Check yourself. That's what I want you to do. I want you to pay attention to what's coming out of your mouth. And for some of you, you may need to start journaling. Journaling is a really good therapy. It really is. Write down your feelings and your emotions, and go back sometimes and look at those journal entries and see what's going on. Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling frustrated? And then you need to take steps to get to the root of why. Get to the root of what's in your heart so you can dig that stuff out. And get that stuff out of your heart so you can have a clean heart, so you can enjoy life, so you can enjoy the God kind of life, the good kind of life that God has already prearranged for you to live. Well, that's it for today's morning coffee. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me today. I will be back on tomorrow. I may have to push morning coffee back to 8 o'clock because, I don't know about this 7:45. Y'all can give me some feedback about that and let me know what y'all think. But thank y'all so much. I'm Tanisha R. Atkins, your host. And connect with me on social media. On Facebook, I'm at facebook.com. Facebook.com/morning coffee show. All right. Or you can look me up at Tanisha R. Atkins and connect with me on social media and let's chat about it. All right. So this has been your daily dose of inspirational coffee, and I will be back tomorrow. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and I pray that y'all have a great, fantastic, fantabulous, wonderfully God-made day. All right. I'm out.